Yet another Ashes Test match, yet another close finish, and yet another big controversy to come out of a Test match. It happened in the first Test match as well, but this time it does seem like that things may have spilt over. For a change, I mean, even the well-behaved gallery of the long room, which even in the most exciting situations in a match will often just be seen giving polite applause, not getting excited. Even they got embroiled in this entire controversy. So you can just, by that particular instance that happened in the long room, just gauge how things have spilled over or how emotions are running high on both sides if you take a closer look. So that's what has happened. It's a pity because it's taken away from a very fine Test match, a Test match that saw some good innings won by Steve Smith. Duckett was outstanding in the Test match, and then Ben Stokes playing an outstanding knock. Some good bowling by Mitchell Starc. The injury to Nathan Lyon that's ruled him out. So many different highlights in that Test match. But fortunately, unfortunately, I think the biggest talking point right now, things that are trending on social media, remain that Jonny Bairstow controversy, and that is actually followed by another controversy that happened earlier with Mitchell Starc's catch. But I think the Jonny Bairstow bit is the one that is being most spoken about, and what we'll do today is try and discuss what takes precedence. Is spirit of the game really a thing? Is it something that most teams practice? Is it consistent, or at the end of the day you just look at the rules, follow them, and move ahead and forget about something called spirit of the game? Also, what we'll discuss, if you're going to discuss Bairstow by itself, that does the spirit of the cricket debate does come in at all. So that's something we're going to discuss. We have a full house today, it being a Monday. Anyone who could.
I'm okay with it. Whatever happened, I'm okay with it. I think the right call was made because everybody has done it. Just that Jonny Bairstow himself has done it. Everybody, and to give Alex Carey the benefit of doubt, I think whatever he did, it was all in one motion. So the umpire usually, at the end of the over, umpire has to say, it's over.
Over.
So I think that call was not made, and that is the reason why that was given out. The ball was not there. It was, so whatever Alex Carey did, yeah, you can feel sorry for Jonny Bairstow, but that's it.
I actually don't feel sorry for him either. Why is he wandering out of the crease like that? No reason to feel sorry for him. Stay in your crease, that doesn't happen. It's the same as the non-striker run-out thing. Stay in your crease, it doesn't happen. I don't feel sorry for him.
The benefit of doubt that I would want to give to Jonny Bairstow is that it wasn't just another delivery in an over. It was the last ball of the over. And again, you look at Alex Carey, like you said, one motion, threw down the stumps, which is valid, legal. Jonny Bairstow in that split second knew that this was the last ball of the over, scratched his crease, and then went out without looking at the umpire. The square leg umpire had also started walking, maybe taken a couple of steps as well. But like Rahul said, it's not over till it is called over. And in terms of the rules, laws, yes, he was out. And because he'd been doing that, I think he did that 3 or 4 times in that inning itself, that he was wandering out, and that is why Carey knew and the Australians knew. Maybe the short leg fielder would have told them that he's got this habit of wandering out, and maybe that's why they threw down the stumps. In terms of spirit of the game, the spirit of the game will give you a medal like it gave Dhoni, but it will never win you games. So because it is England and it is Australia, it was at the Lords, the Ashes Test match. So people are talking about it. Had it been any other Test match between any other two teams, maybe nobody would have been invoked the spirit of the game.
The same thing happened. England versus New Zealand, 2022. Ollie Pope tried to do the same thing to Colin de Grandhomme.
Yeah.
Same ground, but a different series, but not a hue and cry
I think
was
in this
raised.
Test match also, Jonny Bairstow...
Labuschagne on day 3.
Yes.
And Jonny Bairstow, he is himself a wicketkeeper. He has attempted this, even during this Test match, he has attempted similar run-outs so many times. and he is a wicket keeper, and he is the one who is doing this. So he should be the one who should be extra careful.
Exactly. I agree, because you know what Carey did in one motion at Rahul said earlier, this wasn't a ploy or something that we saw Carey do with the other batters. He wasn't just throwing at the stumps every time a batter would, swing and miss, and he'd catch the ball or gather it and then throw it at the stumps. This was, I think, from the Australian point of view, this was something well thought of, something they had observed as far as Jonny Bairstow is concerned. And in one motion, it just happened to be that he threw the ball at the stumps, hit, and yes, he was again caught wandering out of his crease. So fair play to Australia over here. It's no cheating or anything what's being said, let's say, by a large faction of people out there on social media. But very much in the rules of the game, and the right call was made, I believe.
And he's a repeat offender. Jonny Bairstow is a repeat offender. This is nothing new what happened at Lord's. 18 months prior, can you go back to that visual, Anurag? That one previously that you had, the previous one? MCG, Boxing Day test. This is Bairstow. Boland had appealed for an LBW. The ball hit his pad, went to slip, but Steve Smith knew that he was out of the crease, so he had a shot at the stumps. He missed, but if he had hit the stumps, he was run out rather than being given LBW. So Bairstow has been doing it for the past 18 months. It's just that Smith, the Australian slip cordon, were much more alert about it. They spotted that there was a pattern and they capitalized on it.
Just couple of observation. One, as Rahul says that it was in one motion. The other thing, if you see that replay clearly, it's the time where Alex Carey releases the ball. Can we show the video? Maybe you don't need to cut it live, but if you see it again, when Alex Carey releases the ball, Bairstow is still inside the crease. Yes. Bairstow is not out. So I don't think Alex Carey, in that sense, even it was instinctively he threw it. Bairstow is still in the crease. It's after the ball is traveling towards the wicket, he moves out. Okay, probably unaware, thinking that the over is. So firstly, I don't think there is any devious intention from.
Not
this one. There's no any devious intention when it comes to Alex Carey per se.
ECB's Twitter you'll find in there.
You will, maybe you can show it. So that's the first thing. So because a lot of people pointed out that he was doing it again and again, and so this time Carey knew that if this time he goes out because he's been doing it, I'm going to catch him out. But that wasn't the case. So first thing is that when he releases the ball, you will see that he is well within the crease. I'll just wait for that video to play, so you will see it. So what it really establishes, just click on videos, then you will get it. There's something called just go down and. No.
I hope they're not Geo. No, it was of Cam Green. Yeah.
Yeah, just further down.
No, scroll slightly down.
I think the way Pat Cummins has handled things in the last 3 test matches.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. He carries that good boy image,
Yeah.
and not that ruthless Aussie captains that we've seen in the past, but he's handled
There
things
was a question
remarkably
to him
well.
saying, a question, and I agree, there was a question that was asked to Pat Cummins in the press conference saying that would you bowl an underarm if need be, an underarm delivery in this?
Yes.
Firstly, I mean, the goal for a journalist to be asking that question.
Exactly.
Had it been a Ricky Ponting or someone, he would have let the journalist know. But even then, Pat Cummins, so nice and polite, he said, yeah, if need be, we'll look at it. Maybe
That depends on the wicket.
on the wicket. If it's a flat wicket, maybe we'll have to bowl a underarm delivery. But that was actually the question that he was asked. That going forward, will you also consider bowling underarm delivery? That is something that he mentioned.
Although
Pat Cummins.
it's no longer allowed.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the cheekiness.
Yeah.
So one, as you see that particular video, that he's not moved out. So the point I'm trying to make is that there was no intent from Alex Carey to deceive the batsman. He's not trying to be sly. He's not trying to be cunning. He's not trying to be a player who's like, had he collected the ball and then waited for Bairstow to go out or tried to show that he doesn't have the ball, in terms of fake fielding, as we see. You do a fake fielding and then just deceive the batsman and then do out. But in this case, there is no fake fielding. He just holds it, throws it, it's Bairstow who makes the mistake of going out. So I mean, there's no devious intention, which I think. But having said that, I still feel that spirit of cricket debate is still worthy of being had, because Bairstow on that regard, in that sense, is not trying to steal a run. And I think that's important. Now, if you see it, Bairstow is not trying to steal a run. Could they have, in hindsight, because he's not trying to steal a run, he's not trying to take unfair advantage. This doesn't show that, the longer shot shows. Anyway, because he's not trying to take an undue advantage, could Australia have just been kind enough to call him back? Because he's not trying to. So stumping, I understand that you're trying to take some sort of advantage. Even when you do a munkad, I can understand, because you're trying to gain some sort of an advantage. So yeah, in this case, Bairstow wasn't going for a run. Like, he wasn't trying to take any advantage. It's just that it's an over and he walks out. And if that is the case, maybe in hindsight it happens. Maybe Australia could have looked at and spirited the game and said, yeah,
But
he's
they're not obliged to, I feel,
not obliged, but I'm saying, why not? I mean,
I think this is the most cricket debate ever, because in no other sport will you hear this sort of a thing that a team got cheated. And by the way, this is not even cheated. This is well within the rules.
it's not cheated.
It's not. I'm just saying, so let's say a dubious decision, something that's debatable, something that's contentious, because this clearly is, whether or not we want it to be, it is, where you'll have this and then you'll have people say it's not in the spirit of the game. I mean, I didn't see that argument when Verstappen won the 2021 Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship, even though that was a clear circumvention of the rules. I never saw that debate come up when England of all teams were knocked out in 2010 FIFA World Cup, the Lampard goal that wasn't. Clear goal.
Germany.
I mean, what the Germans going to say? No, it went over the line. Sorry, it should go in. You're not winning anything with that.
In football,
In any sport. This is a post-cricket debate.
there is no spirit of the game, because you see so many players, so many footballers, every game they fake injuries.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a
Time wasting.
close-in, a rival player is right next to them, they fake injuries so many times.
Correct.
but
Where's
there
the
is spirit of the game there. I'll tell you, a lot of time when a player is down injured, the opposition team, if they have the ball,
They'll just kick it out.
Allow the player to recover.
Then that's a
There
very-
is some sort of spirit there.
But at times, what would you say? At times, for example, a player is right next to me. He's trying to hit the ball. I am also trying to hit the ball, and suddenly one of the two players will just fall down and would fake injury as if he's been hit by the other one.
No, but I'm saying, as I say that Carey, I'm convinced that he was not trying to cheat. No Australian was trying to cheat. But I'm saying, in hindsight, if I was captain, maybe, and I'm just thinking out aloud, maybe if I was captain and I saw that he was not trying to take any undue advantage, as in either when you're stumped, you're trying to take advantage, you're playing within the rule that you're dancing down the wicket. So stump is stump, fair. Or for example, when you're doing that munkading or run out, there also I'm trying to take advantage. Then I, as a captain, wouldn't take my appeal back.
In that
But
case,
here
I
I
think
might.
the umpire,
I might.
rather than just looking at whether or not Jonny Bairstow was out of the crease, should have looked at the entire sequence of event. He should have actually, the third umpire should have looked at the square leg umpire. Was he walking towards the batsman to take his spot? If he'd walked a couple of steps, that should have been the first red flag. If, like you said, Alex Carey, when he threw the ball, Jonny Bairstow was still in his crease, that should have been the second red flag. So they just went by the laws. Then the third umpire should have decided there and then. Yes, the umpire didn't call over, but was Jonny Bairstow in his mind indeed sure that this was the last ball, and he obviously wanted out just because of that. So it was up to the third umpire. I don't think the Australians, once they had appealed, I don't think they ought to have called the batsman back. They couldn't have, because see, again, it was the English who were at the suffering end, and they've also done that in the past.
No, I agree, but I'm saying, like in this case, the umpires followed the rule book. I agree. Not they followed. This is out. Technically, everything is out. I'm saying, once you appealed because you threw it, but sometimes the realization, for example, the MS Dhoni incident, and I'm not saying what MS Dhoni did was right. There people will be, Ian Bell, MS Dhoni. That call was not taken on the field. Luckily, it was tea time, so they could go back and discuss. And then later, whoever decided, whether it was Sachin Tendulkar, somebody decided that, listen, Bell in that instance was not trying to take any
Unfair
advantage
advantage or
like
whatever.
a run or something. He actually thought that was force.
But I still remember when Abhinav Mukund ran him out.
Yeah.
He was looking at Dhoni.
Yeah.
And Dhoni gave him the ball.
Correct.
Which means that Dhoni was in favor of
Yes.
Abhinav Mukund running him out.
Yes.
Agreed.
And in those 20 minutes, because of the backlash, I think Nikhil was also there.
Yeah.
We were at the stadium. The English commentators went berserk. In fact, right through the test match, all the English commentators, they had been questioning the Indians.
Yes.
They said to the extent that they apply
Vaseline
Vaseline
on
to the edges of the bat so that the sneakometer doesn't catch it. So I think the Indians thought maybe the test match is slipping away. Even though I still feel now the English were leading by some 180 odd runs.
Yes.
And he would have been the fourth wicket to fall. If indeed the fourth wicket had fallen, and remember India in the first innings were 260 for 4 and then they were bowled out for 335 or something.
Yeah.
And if
Broad
Clint
hat-trick.
Bell actually got out, you never know.
Yes.
India could have saved the test match. They might have won the test match. But like I said, spirit of the game, these things, I could be different. Given a choice, if I am playing my cricket, I would have definitely not ran him out at all. But then cricket is not played like that.
Ran out that
No, this one. Alex
but
Carey
I'm
as well.
saying Carey actually, just as I said, instinctively he threw.
No,
That's why I'm
because
saying in
because the
hindsight.
Australians were aware that he'd been wandering out.
Correct.
He didn't know he's doing it right now,
But-
they knew, and it
Yes.
happened 3-4 times. So that's the reason he threw the.
I agree, but I'm saying now, let's say when he threw it, he threw it with the intention that he's trying to take some sort of advantage.
At times,
I'm
Nikhil,
saying,
when you're standing so far behind, you may not exactly be aware whether or not the.
agreed. That's what I'm saying. So once you threw it, I'm saying you instinctively threw it. He got out. But I'm saying when things settle down, you realize that actually he thought it was over. He was not trying to go. And then when the sanity
No, that's
comes,
what I said.
then
Benefit of doubt
does the captain
for-
then say, "I'll take it
No,
back"? I don't
he
know.
could
If
have.
if I was the captain, I may have.
He
thought
could
about
have,
taking the appeal
but to
back.
expect an Australian captain and even an English captain to do that, I don't think so. Ben Stokes said later on that he would have recalled the batsman. I
Yeah.
doubt.
I don't believe him.
I doubt.
For 1 second.
I doubt because England have also done that.
Okay, assuming
They-
this was
they-
the first innings. Assuming this happened in the first innings of the test match, because it was second innings, it was getting close, you wouldn't have. First innings of a test match, you don't know, there's some whatever.
They would have still
50 for 2.
not.
No,
recalled.
Australia have been very
No chance.
consistent. They would have.
I
No
like,
chance.
I like this version of Australia. By
No
the way.
chance.
This
Dude,
ruthless.
this is always their version.
No, because you would remember after that sandpaper.
No, but they are also
gate-
looking at the image
They-
change correction.
After that sandpaper gate, when Tim Payne was appointed as their captain, they were trying to change the image of Australian cricket, which I never liked. They looked so submissive, the Australians under Tim Payne, that they wanted to create that good boy image. I never liked it. Because Australians, all these years, whatever we've seen of these Australian teams in the past, the current, we've always seen them ruthless. And ruthless does not mean to be cheats, like what they did against the Indians in that
They
Sydney
cheated.
test. I didn't like that. But when I say ruthless, being ruthless and to cheat are two different things.
Yeah.
If they know that.
Now,
they are-
I feel that marketing is the worst thing to do on a cricket field.
Ma-
Now that it has been allowed, when you do that, and even when you are well within your rules, even then people criticize you. Even then people
that's
criticize
unfair.
you.
I think because of marketing, which has now been, because it was a very debatable subject, and now the ICC has also declared it to be a run out, not what we used to call marketing, and has made it legal. So I think it has now given a lot of people an opportunity to do things like what we've seen, and people will not question, because now perhaps laws of the game, I think they take precedence over
One's
spirit of the game.
interpretation.
And spirit of the game, it's all about interpretation. It's very subjective. For him, it may not fall under spirit of the game. For me, it might be. So that's just to put it in a simple way. I thought Jonny Bairstow was careless.
He
At
was,
this
I
stage,
agree.
and the other guy, Alex Carey, he had his presence of mind to effect that dismissal. a bowler looks for opportunities to dismiss the bowler, to dismiss the batter, and those are the kind of opportunities even the wicket keeper, including Jonny Bairstow, when he was keeping wickets,
But that's
was also looking
within,
for.
No, but I'm saying that is, I agree, but that's within the period when game is played within the rules. I'm saying in this instance, even though I agree that Carey was not trying to cheat or deceive, none of the Australians were trying to do that. But I'm saying when later you realize that, you know, he thought the game, in his mind, Bairstow, which was an error, I agree, but in his mind he thought it was done, the over was done, and that's why he's walked out. If you have a realization, could you have withdrawn the
get
appeal?
your point. I agree. I get your point. He was not trying to steal a single. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
A batsman. There's a batsman.
Just like Ian Bell in that time
No,
was not trying to steal a run. He thought that
It
ho
was
chuka hai.
just a matter of opportunity. How you look at it. A batsman. He's just shouldering arms. The ball pitches. It comes back into the batsman and knocks off his off stump or middle stump or leg stump, any stump. He's not trying to steal a single. It's the bowler's ability.
But it's a skill, na.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm saying here the skill was not agreed.
This
But
is
I'm
a-
saying
More than Brazil, I think
what
there
if
was.
what if in his mind the play was done? It was dead. That's
No,
what
but
I'm
then
saying.
again, in his mind, again, not in actuality. I'm just saying that credit to Alex Carey on the front that, you know, not only was he, you know, part of that setup, who were observant enough, you know, in terms of Jonny Bairstow, but also this sense of anticipation there as well that maybe he will step out, which is why he just instinctively threw the ball. Like you said, he was already in the crease, but there was a sense of anticipation that any moment now he could step out as well. He could wander out. So, which is why he just went with it.
Why are we clouding with the fact that the batsman wanted to take an advantage? He
Yeah.
was out of the crease. Simple.
No, rule.
No, he wasn't taking an
Rule, that
advantage.
Nobody's
That's the reason why he was
disputing.
given
He's
out.
out.
Jonny Bairstow.
Yeah.
He wasn't gaining any advantage. It was the last. He wasn't wanting to take a run. His intent was not to take the run.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I think your laws also say that.
20.1. 20.1.2
The only thing is
states
like Sachin Tendulkar's instance when he was charged with ball tampering. Now,
Port Elizabeth.
in 2001 Port Elizabeth Test match, he was cleaning the seam of the
Seam.
ball. Because it was very wet,
Yes.
and he was cleaning the mud from the seam. So if he had done that, looking at the umpire, the same action,
Yeah.
it was legal.
Legal.
Because he did that with his back to the umpire, it was deemed illegal.
Illegal.
So, you know, within the laws also, there are certain frameworks. If the umpire could have said then that, listen, the square leg umpire was also, maybe he had taken a couple of steps, then they could have said, no, we are not referring it to the third umpire.
See this angle.
But
see,
actually,
see,
yeah, this big.
See, it clearly shows that he was, just go back to the same angle.
Go.
See now there he goes.
Yeah.
Now see he's
He'll just
Yeah.
No, he's marked the ball.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I agree.
See, it looks like he knows it's over.
Yeah,
Now he's
yeah,
walking out.
I agree.
Not trying to steal a run. I'm saying if in hindsight, chalo, in the heat of the moment he got him out. I'm saying 2 minutes later when there's a lot of chaos, maybe the captain can think, yeah.
So, Nikhil, what
I
I'm
don't
saying
think he's
is
not
more
trying to cheat.
than the
Call him back.
Australians.
But
If the umpires would have taken the call and said, listen,
But umpires have to follow the law.
Now see,
This
umpire-
is only
Can
the
you go-
prerogative
actually,
of
let's
the
just
opposition
Yeah.
captain.
movement. Yeah.
The umpire did not move actually.
Yeah.
Umpire didn't move.
Let's just see. Yeah.
We'll see it.
Yeah,
I
once
saw
the
the other
replay
angle.
comes. Ah.
wherein I
You
thought,
you have the umpire here.
Yeah.
So this is what happens.
see,
He just.
I thought he was.
He is
No,
standing.
he didn't
No,
move.
he
He's
is
standing.
Now he
He
So
is
he's not
moving.
even looking at the ball. So the umpire, the square leg umpire, knows that this is over. He's not looking
but
at the
he's
ball.
not moving.
No, but he's not even looking at the ball. See, just look at him. And now he looked down and he started to walk.
Yeah, see, he knows
See?
that over's done. See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
Now
saying.
he starts moving.
No, he,
No, he.
I agree that he's not looking at
maybe
the ball.
you know.
He's
No,
not
he had
look-
taken a small. Just go back. See, look at the wicket and look at the umpire. So the ball is yet to come. The ball is yet to come. He
He's
started
not
walking.
looking at. Now
Yes. Yes. So the moment the ball hit the stumps, just before that, he had taken a small little step, which means that he knew that this was over.
And the umpire didn't say also loudly over.
The
No, we also need to look at the main umpire.
He is the one who should.
We also need to look at the main umpire. Did he also at that moment walk a bit normally, or maybe take out the sweater
have that time,
or
no?
take out the cap? See, normally, if I'm sure the bowler may have been wearing a sweater or maybe given his cap to the umpire. So in his action, we can't see. That's the problem.
Yeah, there is. I'll show you. There is an angle which shows that long. Anyway.
Yeah,
But I again, as I said, when I'm looking at this, the more I see it, the more I know that Jonny Bairstow.
He's
I know.
not trying to take an
Yeah,
advantage,
he's not trying to cheat or anything. And I know that it's an error, but it's an error. Not even supposing if it was like in the middle of the over, then I could still count it as a bigger error that he's being clumsy, careless, whatever. Just because in his thing he's convinced that once the ball goes, last ball done, he marks his crease, done, and I'm walking. I don't know. Now I'm thinking that if I was the opposition captain and once I saw all of this, and then I think to myself, I don't think.
In
maybe I
real
could
life
see a
situation,
play.
whatever, if you're there in the match, you don't get that kind of time, do you? Even the third umpire, let's say.
But that's why the umpires couldn't have done anything because they have to follow the law.
The guide, they are
But
bound by the
prerogative
guidelines.
only belongs now to the fielding captain.
Is there
He
any
can
angle that
choose.
shows the main umpire?
I think I have an
Is there
angle.
any angle?
That we'll have to check.
No, I have one.
No,
I've
just
seen one.
run up for future searches maybe. I'll go check.
No,
That's all.
I will try.
Because
Can take.
we can. No, I don't think you can run this video here.
This won't open.
It won't even
All are geo
never mind
blocked.
run. It won't even open.
Yeah, it won't open.
Yep. So that's the thing. Anyway, it was smart work by Alex Carey. That's all I'll say about this. Because if you want to live by the spirit of the game, then Ben Stokes should hand over the 2019 World Cup to New Zealand.
No. How?
The umpires misinterpreted the rule.
No. The rule was perfect.
No, but then
One run.
One run, yeah.
Only one run should have been given, not two.
No.
Which one?
6 were given, 5 should have been given.
Five, yeah.
Why?
Because
the batsman hadn't crossed.
yes,
Achha.
they hadn't
That
crossed.
was again.
Then Ben Stokes should have consulted Owen Moore and said, "Oh, it's not right. We should give only one run." But World Cup final, can you do that? It's not possible. So that is why.
Spirit of the game.
Happy birthday. Spirit of the game, and I think because of that monketing, because so much has been spoken in the last couple of years about monketing, I think the lines have been blurred as to what the spirit of the game is. To be very honest, anything can be construed as spirit of the game against or in favor.
But in this case, don't
now-
you think it applies? It
I
applies. You can choose to do whatever you want.
laws. Ravindra Jadeja would remember in Nagpur. He had those swollen fingers. He applied
An ointment.
Yeah.
and was fine. So was Moeen Ali, by the way. He had blisters to show.
And he was applying a drying agent.
Okay,
Correct.
just the mistake. The only law that they couldn't follow was that they had to inform the umpire and tell them that this. They were fine, both of them.
Yeah.
So I think at times it goes your way, at times it won't. So this is the.
I
one.
think in this, I think they are not again.
We can't see the
We can't
umpire.
see the umpire. That's the problem.
I had one which I had seen, but it's very tough.
Yeah, that's the problem. So we can't see whether the umpire that was there, whether
No,
he.
I'm agreed, but I'm saying now the more you see it, you know that Bairstow is convinced that it's over. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whether he's right or wrong.
But the problem is the umpires had to say it was
Take
over.
a few. Leave that Anurag, please. Just can
Yeah.
I see? Let's take a few.
Just that it happened
Just stop. Just stop.
at Lords in England against
Yeah.
Aussies in an Ashes test.
Yeah, the same fury was not there for an England-New Zealand match.
Okay.
That happened in the
No,
basketball
leave-
era.
Leave it, Anurag, leave it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna read it.
You said leave it.
No, I said don't
Quite
touch it.
literally.
Just don't touch anything. Now
Yeah.
I've lost out on those comments. It's just saying don't touch anything. Go up, go up.
Up. I mean, we saw that one more video, right, of Ryan Sidebottom colliding with Grant Elliott in at the Oval, 2008,
Even Tendulkar in Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Against-
Eden Gardens, Kolkata,
yeah,
99.
against Pakistan.
Yep. So many instances where the so-called spirit of the game was abused, you may say. But England are not playing by the spirit of the game. They are possessed by the spirit of delusion.
Okay, let's take Balaji's comment. He says, Kerry did not pause. Everything was in a single motion. It's fair and spirit of the game is always subjective. Then why do you have DRS? Okay. Well, we've discussed that. Go up. Keep going up. और एकदम bottom में आ जाए. I can't see. Those comments are gone now. We have to take. Spirit of cricket has become. What is that?
I really have no idea what does that
Zan
mean.
wants to know most of the Indian players have reached Barbados if Virat Kohli still. No, he's also reached. West Indies.
Yeah, all have reached.
Pretty sure those are old pictures, my friend.
Yep. Yesterday.
Niche.
Go.
Vignesh says in simple words, spirit of cricket equals double standard.
Hey, you play by the rules. I mean, spirit of the game at this point, I feel, has become like a boogeyman. You bring it out to scare people.
What spirit of the game? In this modern era, what has been the spirit of the game? You play to win. Simple. That is the spirit of the game in a sense. The old age Victorian style 19th century definition doesn't apply in the modern era.
I'm okay with what happened. See, I think we were playing that first game. Neeraj, remember? He was dismissed in the same fashion.
Abhijit.
Dismissed him.
Abhijit.
Neeraj was the one dismissed.
First game, no. Jay underarmed.
Oh, right. Yes. And it was the same thing.
Jay did the carry before Carey did it.
Exact same dismissal.
Jay did the
Just
carry.
wanted to boom.
And, no, Abhijit, Neeraj was the batsman.
Abhijit. Neeraj didn't play.
First match, Neeraj wasn't there. It was.
Acha, haan,
Yes,
right.
Abhijit was out of the crease. At that time, I called it great game awareness by Jay.
Yeah, the commentator called it. Yeah.
So he's been consistent.
Let's
with
not
his.
talk about what other things the commentator was calling.
The truth.
And that wasn't the last ball of any over.
It was the third ball, the third or fourth ball. But he wandered out of the crease. Jay had the right
Even
presence
though
of
he
mind.
also didn't want to take a run.
Yeah.
But he still wanted.
But he still wandered out. Brilliant game awareness by Jay.
Like Srikanth did on his test debut.
Yes.
Singing songs and
Yeah.
he was at Wajika. I saw that test.
Yeah.
Was that not against
Under
England?
19
England,
Under
1980-81.
But there was no
Bombay
Bombay
controversy.
Test match.
19 World Cup final.
But there was no controversy with Chika. Actually, I remember the English players were laughing and he just walked off. Srikanth.
Yeah.
There was no controversy. Nobody invoked spirit of the game. There was nothing.
Because
He
it wasn't
accepted
against the
it.
English.
He accepted that he made a mistake. He just
Yeah.
walked off. Vayashi boy said, I was more shocked about the incident which took place in the long room.
Yeah. That was a little more stunning. Gentlemanly images right out of the window.
All three of them have been suspended.
Suspended.
3 people.
Yeah.
Three
Pending an
members,
inquiry.
3 members.
Now, I saw one tweet which is very interesting. He said, it's the MCC members which make the laws. Australia are following the laws.
And the
you're
MCC
sledging
members.
them.
But just a day prior to this incident, the Australians were also not willing to accept the laws of the game.
Mitchell Stark.
Mitchell Stark. I mean, how could he claim that catch? Yeah?
But can I tell you, in
But he
his
was in
defense,
control.
he was, no, I tell you, in his thing, I agree he was not out.
But MCC given a clarification.
Yeah, no, but in Stark's mind, if you see, even when you see, in Stark's mind, it was out. He felt that if you are in control of the ball, then you can touch
He
it.
was
No, but
always
yeah,
Which his
control of the
interpretation was-
ball, control of the body. I mean, I fail to understand why
But
No,
I
was-
thought that
was
he
not
was.
out. But
he's
he was
scratching the
trying to-
ball
But he's not
on
out.
the grass.
He was in complete control of that. catch.
only till it was here. And while he fell down,
Yeah.
I agree that even that was given not out. Fair enough, because that is also
The law. The law was followed. But in Stark's mind, he was not cheating.
Yeah.
In his mind, he thought the interpretation is that if you are in control, you can touch it and it will still be out. So
Now what
that's why he
happened in
claimed.
the WTC final also? There was this debate around control of the ball, right?
No, but in WTC, why was different? Why it was given? Because there were fingers
Finger-
under the.
exactly.
So when there was a doubt,
There were two
but
things
here
over
there was
there.
no doubt.
Because he was given out over there. Those who were proponents of the theory that he was in control of the ball. Forget the angles and everything. The video evidence. There were people saying that listen, he had complete control of the ball
with the fingers under.
Exactly.
But as soon as there are no fingers under, then that debate.
Yes.
Here the fingers were over.
Over.
If
So
there
the
is
ball
doubt
skidded, then
over
it
fingers
can't
being
be.
under.
But I think this control of the ball is also another debate on the
Control
grey
of
area
the
in
ball,
game.
control of the body.
The body.
Again, this is
No,
down to
correct decision was made.
because
No
control
doubt.
is down to interpretation. It's subjective.
Correct. But I'm saying right decision was
For
made.
example, Gibbs, 99 World Cup.
Huh?
Suddenly, he threw the ball up.
No, but
he
that
wasn't
you
in
have not
control.
completed. You have to complete.
He was
Happened
not
with
in
Steven
control.
Smith yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had partial control of the ball, and just when he was trying to lob it up,
Yes.
it fell down.
It fell down. Yep.
The catch has to be completed.
Yes. Even I think Mike Gatting also, I think it was against Manoj Prabhakar, Wankhede, Mumbai, 93. I think just came up, he caught it, he dropped it. I think that was one
No, but
instance.
what was cheating is
Keeps
what
happening with
Australia
us.
did.
We don't take.
What-
We are never in control.
I think it was Ricky Ponting who really, there was a clear cut, he
Yeah.
knew that he was cheating.
Clark also.
Clark.
Ponting Clark in Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney.
Gilchrist,
Yeah, Gilchrist.
Adam
Gilchrist?
Yeah, picked it up.
Rahul Dravid,
Yeah.
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 Picked it up.
catch off his pads.
Pads. Oh, Simons.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really
Let's
a
take
bad test.
One question. Shubham says England are using Jonny Bairstow wicket as an excuse, whereas their cricket has been on another stratosphere. Don't know when to attack, when to defend. Do they want social media? Do they want to win social media or cricket match? Actually, what Shubham, I agree with his larger point where he's saying that a beautiful test match where Australia, are victorious, has now been robbed of talking about Australia's brilliance in now being 2-0 up. Rather than the Bairstow decision has.
I think with this bowling attack, the kind of pop gun bowling attack that England have now, it was difficult for them to win a test match against Australia.
Yes.
Maybe if Mark Wood comes back, they've not been able to execute their plans. And again, Ben Stokes, it was because of that Bears ball that he could have that counter attack.
Yep.
Any other player would have just defended when Bairstow got out.
But England weren't good enough, let's say, on day one after choosing to bowl first as well.
Their bowling is a big
Conditions
problem.
were, they were bowler friendly and they just failed to,
So twice Australia won a test match.
Yeah.
In 3 that the opposition has put them in.
Yes.
Yes.
World Test Championship
Happened
final.
with us
Yes.
and now with England.
Yeah.
Yep. And remember, who's been the biggest, what's been the biggest problem for England? A certain James Anderson. He's not utilizing.
The third test match.
Yeah.
Mark Wood has to play. Yeah.
Either Mark Wood or Chris Wokes will
Aditya
come in.
Sharma has a very relevant, interesting question.
What if there was Virat instead of Bairstow?
I'd have told Virat he should have stayed in his crease.
Yeah.
Brave man.
He was out, clearly.
You would have. But it's not happened, so we don't know.
We don't know.
If you would have.
Very interesting
But-
from Aditya because Virat Kohli has had those unlucky dismissals also. So if this one also gets.
No, I think he's talking about the controversy.
He is, I'm sure.
What would
and
have
some
been
of
the
our
reaction?
reactions? Yeah.
I don't think Virat is that naive to wander out of the crease. He's been like that. 100 plus tests. Bairstow, okay, he's played about 80 plus tests. That's one lapse of judgment he's had there. I don't think Kohli can get strangled down the leg side, can get bowled through the gate. But apart from that, he hasn't had that much of controversial dismissals like we may say. He's been pretty clean on that part.
No, I'm just saying. Let's talk about, let's say, the Bangladesh, one of the 2 test matches. There was some sort of this thing, whether it was bad first or was it the bad. Again, that was also 50-50, which went against Virat. So things haven't gone Virat's
But
way
there
when
was
it
not
comes
a
to.
brain fade moment.
It was a brain fade moment.
Yeah.
Not on his part. Actually.
Not on, but yeah.
See, Virat's brain fade moment will happen with shot execution. That's it. Nothing else.
If at all.
If at all, yeah. WTC final day 5. I mean, bad shot. Sorry.
Have you been sorry?
It's the truth.
So 90% of the times when batsmen will get out, it'll be his mistake.
Yes.
90% of the time.
90%. Yep.
Chalo. On that note, thank you so much for joining, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of the Dugout. Do drop in your comments. We'd love to read them. and give us a like. Bye bye.
Bye bye.